I thank my colleague for yielding. Well, those watching or listening might be a little confused. What's this about? It's about a meaningless piece of paper. It's called a House Concurrent Resolution, number 112. And it's expressing the sense of Congress that something that the president proposed is bad and they don't like it. Well, he proposed it. They're not going to take it up. Why are we wasting time debating something that they're not going to put on the schedule and isn't a reality? I don't know, because they're trying to fill up time, not clear to me. What they're doing is continuing to avoid the discussion of how we're going to pay for America's infrastructure. Dwight David Eisenhower said, let's have a user fee, a gas tax. The last time we increased the gas tax federally, 1993, 18.4 cents a gallon. That figured out, to about 15% of every gallon you bought. Today, I paid $2.50 a gallon in Oregon last weekend. Federal tax still 18.4 cents. That's about 7% per gallon. And those dollars are worth less. Now we're talking about what's going to do to jobs if we have some sort of tax on oil that we use to pay for infrastructure. Let's talk about the other side, where we can create one heck of a lot of jobs. Every penny for gas tax, every penny raises about $1.7 billion for the federal trust fund. $1.7 billion under the most conservative estimates, most conservative, is more than 25,000 jobs. So one penny, 25,000 jobs. But no, we can't go there. I proposed we index the existing gas tax to inflation. No, we can't do that. All right, didn't want to do that. I proposed that we tax the fraction of a barrel of oil that goes into taxable transportation uses, not manufacturing, not agriculture, not any of this other stuff they're talking about. I put that proposal forward 7 years ago. Put it forward to my colleagues and to the White House. Now, the White House has burped out something different here, this more indiscriminate tax, which would go to other uses. But the point is, there are thoughtful ways to approach this and pay for what we need. America is falling apart. 140,000 bridges nationwide, including the highest proportion in the state of Pennsylvania, by the way, who we heard from earlier, are in need of replacement or significant repair. Trucks are detouring around them. People are being detoured around them. Potholed roads, 40% of national highway system needs not just to be resurfaced, it needs to be dug up. It's failed so badly. People are breaking their rims, blowing out tires, damaging their cars. It's costing Americans a lot. People are locked in congestion because we're not dealing with the growth in traffic. And, let's just look out just a little way outside the Capitol here. The worst example. We are killing people on our transit systems unnecessarily because Congress has failed to partner with the cities of America and the rural areas who have transit. We have an $84 billion backlog to bring transit up to a state of good repair, not new transit options to get people out of their cars and help them deal with congestion and get around. $84 billion just so we're not killing people. Now, and we're talking about, we can't be competitive. Yeah, we're not competitive in the world economy. I go around talking about how we're now degraded. We used to have an infrastructure that's the envy of the world. And I talked about how we're becoming third world. My colleague, Mr. Blumenauer, criticized me very, very adamantly about that one day. I said, what do you mean, Earl? You know how bad it is? He says, no. He says, that is insulting to third world countries. They are investing a larger percentage of their gross domestic product in infrastructure than we are here in the United States of America, and that's true. So now I've taken to calling us fourth world. We used to be the world's leader in infrastructure, and now we're vaulting over everybody, including places like Zimbabwe, to the back of the pack. Give me a break. And where is the discussion? It's no.
The gentleman is recognized for one additional minute.
No, can't have a barrel tax. No, can't increase the gas tax. No, can't index the gas tax. But we want to talk about a user fee. What user fee? What user fee? Why are we wasting time on this? You're not going to bring it up? You're in charge. You set the agenda. Why are we passing a bill to say we're not going to take something up? I would be kind of embarrassed if I was in the majority, and that's what I was wasting time on. While people are trapped in traffic, while people are, dying because we can't maintain our transit systems, people are blowing out tires because we can't repair the roads, And, oh, we're all for infrastructure until it comes for paying for it. We passed a 5-year bill. We paid for it with phony money. We pretended that when we have private tax collection, that it'll make money. Private tax collection. Republicans have passed that twice before, kind of pissed off the American people. And guess what? It lost money each time, and then we put it back in the IRS. But no, this time it's going to make money. We're going to use it to pay for infrastructure. Ha! Give me a break. Oh, yeah, and let's take the Federal Reserve makes up money and puts it in a reserve account with a computer. Let's take that money and spend it. You know, you're basically, you know, you're just averting the real problem here, which is we need to have a serious discussion about how we're going to pay to rebuild America's infrastructure and become a world leader again and be the envy of the world again.
Not recognize the gentleman from Louisiana.
I reserve.